students, welcome back to social science class. This is second chapter of civics federalism. So let us have a look the topics which we have covered. There were many topics that we have completed so far. First was what is federalism, and the second topic was key features of federalism. Third topic that we have completed is what makes India a federal country, and fourth topic is how is federalism practiced. So I was teaching about how is federalism practiced in India. So let's have a look over there. I divided this topic into three parts. First was linguistic states, and the second was language policy, and the third was central state relations. What are the relations of central and state level? So they are some a kind of challenge that our federal country, India is a federal country, so the India is facing such kind of uh, challenges when our constitution maker framed constitution for our country. So let's have a look on linguistic. As I explained you that there were many problems when our constitution makers were framing the constitution. There were problem of partition. Many refugees were here in India. There was problem of merging of princely state. So many states were there that are created on the basis of language. Like Andhra Pradesh was the first state that was created on the basis of language. And yesterday I explained you कि Andhra Pradesh was the first state. It was first state that was created on the basis of language, and the creation of this state was November 1st in the year 1956. So Andhra Pradesh was the first state that was created on the basis of language. There were some other languages like Jammu and Kashmir. I discussed about Jammu and Kashmir. I told you why there were some special provision in Jammu and Kashmir, and what was the condition of this. It was just because of Article 370. So I discussed about it in my previous lecture. So there are some states that are created on the basis of culture. Some are created on the basis of ethnicity, like Uttaranchal, Jharkhand. They are some states that are created on the basis of ethnicity. So many states are in our country that are created on the basis of language, on the basis of culture, on the basis of ethnicity. So as we know that when India got freedom, many things has been changed from that time to this time. Like there were 14 states when our country made our constitution. 14 states were there, and now there are 28 states. There were 7 UTs. Now there are 9 union territories. So we can say there are many things that has been completely changed, and the map of India is completely not completely, but many things are changed. Many borders are changed. Many things are changed in our Indian map. Actually, this thing was done to ensure that people who spoke the same language, lived in the same state, they will be unite. So this was the main reason of the creation such kinds of states. Next topic is language policy. So what is language policy? Let us see. Language policy. Our constitution did not give the status of national language to any one language. Means there is no language which got national position. So Hindi was identified as the official language. Hindi not a national language, it is official language. But Hindi is the mother tongue of only about 40% of Indians. Means only 40% Indian speak this Hindi. Rest 60% of the people speak other languages. There are many languages like Assamia, Odia, Telugu, Tamil, Punjabi, Bengali, Dongri, Bodo. Many languages are there. So we will come in this topic. Therefore, there were many safeguards to protect other languages. Beside Hindi, there are 21 other languages recognized as scheduled language. Why scheduled language? As we know, there are 12 schedules in our constitution. So one 12th one schedule is added in the Indian constitution to make 21 languages authorized. A candidate in an examination conducted for the central government position may opt to take the examination in any of these languages. Any of these languages mean if we skip Hindi, there are 21 other languages in which government central government examination can be conducted if student asks. Much of the government work take place in the official language of the concerned state. Leaders of our country adopted a very cautious aptitude in spreading the use of Hindi. According to the constitution, the use of English for official purposes was to stop in 1965. Actually, when Britishers were here, so some influence obviously would have been remained. So English continued official language up to 1965. However, many non-Hindi speaking states demanded that the use of English should be continued, especially South Indian. The central government responded to agreeing to continue the use of Hindi along with use of English along with Hindi for official purposes. So both the languages begin to use as official language because those who are not speaker of Hindi, they demanded English should be continued. So the Indian government, the central government agreed on this thing. So English also remained an official language. So this to maintain this language policy, the motive was to avoid any kind of civil war that happened in Sri Lanka itself. So the flexibility shown by Indian political leaders helped our country avoid the kind of situation that Sri Lanka finds. So let's have a look on language policy in short. So children, as you know, as you read in the your textbook in your NCRT that in our constitution there are 22 languages. Hindi is official language. National language, none. There is no national language. Hindi is an official language. In our constitution there are 22 languages in all. Then what is English? English remained official language till 1965, but after agitation of non-Hindi, after agitation of non-Hindi speaker, it remained an official language too. So in this way, it is used in official purposes such as parliamentary proceedings, judiciary, communication between the central and state government. So I think a language policy is clear in front of you. There is no national language. Total languages are 22. Hindi is an official language. Although English has stopped as an official language in the year 1965, but after the agitation of non-Hindi speaker, it remained used in official purposes, and even today it is using as a second language, second official language. Children, in the year 1947, there were 8 schedules in the Indian Constitution. Now they are 12 schedules. I am telling you this thing because you read a word scheduled languages. So what is the scheduled languages? There are 22 languages if we excluding English. If we do not include English, so excluding English, there are 22 scheduled language. These 22 languages are mentioned in schedules. So earlier in 1947 there were 8 schedules in Indian constitutions. Now 12th schedule 12th schedule is added. Nowadays there are 12 schedules, and through these schedules there are 22 languages in our country. In this way, I think this topic is clear. Language policy. The third thing is central and state relationship. What are central state relationship? So let's have a look. In NCERT, it is given states central state relations. For a long time, the same party ruled both the center and most of the states. This meant that the state government did not exercise their rights as autonomous federal unit. It means for a long time, the same party ruled both the center and most of the state. It means after getting independence, only one political party, that is Congress, remained in power, not only on central level but also on state level too. So it is said for a long time the same party ruled both the center and in most of the state. This means the state government did not exercise their right as autonomous federal units, means they could not use their powers, they could not use their autonomy because they remained in pressure of central government. As And when the ruling party at the state level was different, the parties that ruled at the center tried to undermine the power of a state. In those days, it means when there was recognition of political parties, this thing began to change. How? All this What were the demands? Let's have a look. The central government would often misuse the constitution to dismiss the state government that were controlled by rival parties. This undermined the spirit of federalism. So all this changed significantly after 1990. After 1990, this period saw the rise of regional political parties. Means in those days there were not many regional parties, only few parties were in existence. So after the year 1990 there were many regional parties. In class I explained you what are national parties and what are regional parties. So this was also the beginning of the era of coalition government. I also explained about coalition government when, although it is given in your NCERT, since no single party got a clear-cut majority in the Lok Sabha, the major national parties had to enter into an alliance with many parties, including several regional parties, to form a government at the center. It means when any party does not get clear-cut majority, then coalition government can be formed. And what is the benefit of coalition government? Through this coalition government, the state party or any other party can use its autonomy. So this led to a new culture of power sharing and respect for the autonomy. Some pictures are given here. I think you can identify who is she. She is Indira Gandhi, and many parties are here. So as you read in first paragraph of center-state relationship, that center and as well as in state, for a long time same party ruled. So it shows this thing. And here Atal Bihari Vajpayee and many other faces can be identified. It shows coalition government. So thus federal power sharing is more effective today than it was in the earlier after the constitution came into force.